you are making them from a joy-based, love-based perspective and not a fear-based one. But the idea of the specific permission slips that work for you is up to you to determine, with your own imagination, your own connection to the higher mind, and your own experience of synchronicity in your life. It will always show you what will work best for you. And you all have the intuitive ability to know what that would be at any given moment. So it doesn't have to be any particular special thing we can give you. Anything we would give you anyway as a tool, a technique, a ritual, an idea, an object, a regimen would only be simply another version of a permission slip which you are more than capable of giving yourself. Because it is all just about giving yourself permission to be more of who you are. Yes?
Yeah.
Does that help?
That helps, thank you.
Anything else?
Yes, I have another question.
Yes.
You have sent us this beautiful young woman on our path, and we met this morning, and she's coming home with us tonight, and she's going to stay with us to do some work.
Oh, all right. How exciting.
Would you have some additional suggestions, ideas?
No.
No? Okay.
See how it unfolds. Yes?
Okay.
We do not spoil surprises or give you discoveries you need to make on your own. We don't open your Christmas presents for you.
Okay.
Yes?
We will enjoy the unwrapping.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
It's so exciting to be here, and I want to thank you really from the bottom of my heart because you've expanded the consciousness for me, for my family, for the community in a huge way. So,
all right, we thank you for allowing us to be a reflection of what you already knew to be true.
Yeah, thank you. I've got a couple of questions today.
Yes.
One of them is I'm totally determined to be on that train of the highest frequency.
Totally?
Yes.
All right.
So
Yes.
I guess I want a confirmation that yes, I'm on that train, and since the trains are leaving the track.
All right, then go ahead and give yourself confirmation.
Yes. Okay, I do. I do. Thank you.
And should you discover, as you move forward in your excitement, that there are moments that are not compatible with the vibration of the train you wish to be on, that will be your wake-up call at that moment to switch tracks.
Right. Well, that's the segue to the next question. Because,
oh, how synchronistic.
Yeah. Because as I'm really intending to embody my true self,
yes.
I'm noticing the places where I'm not in my true
Very
self.
good. That's the whole point.
Right.
You see, excitement is a complete kit and contains with it the driving energy and the organizing principle and the spotlight.
Right.
So that as you act on your excitement, anything within you as a belief system or a definition that is out of alignment with that vibration of excitement will be brought to your attention, will be spotlighted, so that you can deal with it and transform it and add that energy to your overall excitement. That's part of its job. That's part of its function, is to call out the things that are not vibrationally harmonious with that excitement.
Right. Well, I feel kind of stuck in that because it's
stuck?
It's a visceral, cellular feeling that fills me and
yes.
it takes over, and so
takes over.
Yes. So I would love.
In what way do you feel stuck? Can you be more specific about the experience?
Well, feeling a victim, for example.
Well, why do you choose to believe that you are? Well, how do you define yourself? What do you get out of defining yourself as a victim? How does that work for you?
Well, it doesn't.
And don't say it doesn't, because you don't do, none of you do anything you don't believe works for you. So if you are being a victim, it's because there is a belief, conscious or unconscious within you, that somehow being a victim works for you. Because if you truly, truly, truly knew it didn't, you wouldn't choose that belief, and you wouldn't have that feeling. Because remember, all feelings come from something you already define as true. And the only reason you choose something that you don't really prefer, but keep choosing it anyway, is because you have attached a belief to your mechanism of motivation that says that is the actual best choice in comparison to the alternative. Even though you know the alternative might actually be what you prefer, obviously that must mean that you have a belief attached to that that makes it actually seem to be the lesser choice.
Right.
So you have to find out what kind of a belief or what kind of a definition would you attach to your motivational mechanism to make being a victim seem to actually be the more beneficial choice. So what might some of those definitions be?
Well, for example, I have a tendency to smooth.
You have a what?
Well, my.
You have a what?
Well, I said tendency.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
You are making choices. You don't have tendencies, you don't have habits, and you don't have patterns once you know you have them. A habit, a tendency, a pattern is something you do that you don't know you're doing. Once you know it's there, it's not a tendency, it's not a pattern, it's not a habit, it's a choice if you keep doing it.
Right, you're right.
And your definition of a pattern, your definition of a tendency, your definition of a habit is what allows you to keep blaming the habit for continuing to do the same thing. Because your definition of a habit has been that once you discover you have the habit, there now has to be some special process you need to go through to let the habit go. When in fact, the discovery of the habit is the end of the process. The habit's gone once you realize it's there.
But it's still there.
Because you're choosing it to be there. That's what we're saying. What we're saying is the fact that you keep doing it is no longer the product of habitual behavior. It's the product of choosing it because you have a belief that says that's the beneficial thing to do.
I understand.
And now it gives you an opportunity, once you bring it into conscious recognition, gives you an opportunity to explore what that belief must be and why you think that belief serves you. And to thus then choose an alternative if that's what you really prefer. But in order to choose the alternative, you have to identify what the definition is now that's making you continue to choose the thing you say you don't prefer as if it were the thing you did.
Right.
So again, what would you be getting out of the experience of victimization that would make you to continue to choose it? Sometimes, I'm not saying this is the case, sometimes it can be as simple as choosing something that is more familiar than what is unknown to you because you've attached a definition to the unknown that makes the unknown seem scarier than the thing you don't prefer because the thing you don't prefer is more comfortable and more familiar. And that might be enough to allow you to keep choosing the thing you don't prefer because you're so afraid to choose what you don't know.
That's accurate.
All right. Then allow yourself to understand that you can change the definition of the unknown. Because there is absolutely, I guarantee you, there's absolutely nothing you will ever discover in the unknown that isn't simply more of yourself. You're the only thing that inhabits the unknown. That's it. So if you're afraid of yourself, you won't go there. But if you're not afraid to be who you really are, you will go into the unknown with open arms, knowing that the unknown is nothing more than an exciting adventure of discovery of more of who you are. So when you define it that way and know that that's the definition, that's true for you, you will then switch the priorities and you will see that going into the unknown isn't scary, it's actually more beneficial, and you will move forward by acting on your excitement, and no longer will you experience the idea of being a victim.
Yes.
And again, to add one more dimension to this concept that we have called the 13th step, when you make that shift, you actually do become a different person. So it's not even that you become someone who no longer plays the victim game. You actually become someone who never did. You have a completely new history. The past is created from the present, not the other way around. When you become a truly new person, by definition, from a linear perspective, if you're really a different person, you have to have a different history that made you who you are today. So when you choose to shift to become the person you prefer to be, that person has a completely different timeline path, and that person never experienced what the person that was here a moment ago experienced. Because she's no longer here. You are. Make sense?
That is so awesome. Yes.
It
does
is.
make sense.
Yes. There is some awe in it, yes. But we prefer to know that it is full of awe, making it awful.
Thank you.
Does that help you?
Yes, tremendously. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one other quick question.
All right. Time's up. Oh, you said it was quick. Taking you at your word. By all means, simply ask your question.
I've had a phenomenon that's happened to me throughout the years that has been frightening to me, and I'm hoping that you can shed some light on it. It happens at night when I'm in bed.
Yes.
Usually when I'm alone in bed, where I feel like I'm being taken out of my body and spun out the window and out.
Why is that frightening? It sounds exciting to us.
I mean, in some ways
Do you not
it is,
simply
but
recognize it as part of the process of how you shift dimensionalities and how others may be helping you and guiding you in shifting from one dimension to another, and that there may be symptoms that go along with it, but so what?
it feels like I get frightened when I realize it happens and I drop back into my
But
bed.
you get frightened because of the definition you give it in terms of what you think is happening. You create a definition that makes that experience be experienced by you as being out of control. Why not simply define it as you're the one in control? It's similar to the idea we have shared with others on your planet who say they have a fear of flying. And when they hit turbulence in an airplane, they become terrified. Well, one suggestion is while you're sitting in your seat with your hands firmly on the arms of the chair, imagine you are the one flying the plane and that all these dips and bumps are something you're doing deliberately. Deliberately. So when you feel the idea of the paralysis or the spinning or the shifting or the lightheadedness or the expansion into another dimensional plane, you're the one choosing to have that deliberately. You're the one calling the shots. The others are just guiding you, keeping you in the hallway, so to speak, but you're the one calling the shots. So if you want to change the experience, redefine the experience as being in your control, not out of it. Mm-hmm. And then you will have more of an experience that you're the one creating those sensations. And as soon as you choose that, the sensations in all likelihood will actually diminish to some degree. Mm-hmm. You understand?
Yes, I do.
Does this help you?
Very much so.
Then pleasant dreams to you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Bashar.
Yes.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I too have two questions.
I too have two. All right.
The first one is, how do we bilocate, teleport? How do we bring our physical body along with our consciousness when we travel to other places on Earth or other places off Earth?
That's number one.
That's number one.
All right. What's number two?
Number two is, I'm trying to remember this. So many people are talking about more and more natural disasters in the financial paradigm, you know, the dollar plummeting, the yen plummeting. What is your take on all that stuff happening? And
to some degree, we have already discussed this.
Right.
Nevertheless, understand again that it's really not about money being the only representation of abundance. Mm-hmm. When you learn, I'm just going to put it very succinctly, when you learn to appreciate yourselves more, you will appreciate on all levels of your society. And the idea of money, while being a valid symbol in your society of abundance, isn't the only one. So when you open the door to all the ways in which abundance can come to you, which is simply, again, the ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it, and not insist that it can only be represented in one form, such as money, then all the ways in which abundance can flow to you will flow. When it needs to be money, it will be. When it doesn't, it won't. So the idea is to allow the adjustments to be made automatically by simply being in the flow of yourself, appreciating your own value, valuing yourself, and thus then your life will reflect that value in all the ways that are still relevant through the changes that your society may be going through. So even if one form of a representation of abundance no longer exists or ceases to be relevant, other forms will come in, and you don't have to care or worry what those forms will be. As long as you are simply being the state of being that is representative of your true valuation, then whatever form at that moment happens to be the abundance of the day symbol will be the symbol that will flow to you if it is representative of the path of least resistance. Do you follow this concept?
Yes.
Does that help you?
Yes.
As to your first question, first of all, you're bilocating all the time. Again, remember, you're shifting from parallel reality to parallel reality billions of times per second. But we know what you mean. But we have a question for you first.
Okay.
Is learning to do that in the way that you meant it relevant for your life?
Yes, I want to go visit my children in another state without getting on an airplane. I just want to pop into their room and be with them in more than just consciousness.
Why?
So I can have more of the experience I love to have with them.
Why do you think that is what the result would be?
Because when I'm physically with them, I get to kiss them, and when I'm in Sedona, I don't.
And yet you do have the capacity to go and visit in some way, shape, or form, yes?
In a slow way, shape, or form. Planes,
Why are you
trains.
deeming it to be slow instead of appropriate or relevant? Do you remember us saying the journey is the destination? Do you not believe that?
Yes.
Then why not allow yourself to understand that the journey is part of the visit and that what happens to you during that journey actually creates a difference in terms of the interaction that occurs between you when you actually make physical contact?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yes, it does. And all you needed to do to allow it to make sense was use your imagination to come up with a similar definition instead of the definition you were attaching to the idea of the way it's happening, which you see as an impediment instead of what needs to be. If there is an absolute reason and need that serves you best for you to suddenly teleport there, believe me, nothing will stop you. So, with the idea in mind that you're willing and open to allowing that to occur when it is relevant for all concerned, not just your wants, yes? When it's relevant for all concerned, nothing will stop it. In the meantime, allow yourself to do the best you can with whatever is available to you as the path of least resistance, knowing that if there is immediately any need or any reason that is relevant for you to accelerate that process in whatever way, shape, or form works best for all concerned, it will automatically happen. You understand? But relaxing into the idea that what is happening is what needs to happen and will actually enrich what needs to happen, and defining it that way will allow you the best opportunity to allow anything else that needs to happen more quickly. Because you cannot allow something to change if you don't fully appreciate and use what you already have. Because every moment is a stepping stone to the next. And if you invalidate the stepping stone you're on, how can you possibly step off of it to the next stone? You understand? This is the way to understand the structure of existence. And when you start defining it that way, you'll see it that way, and you will fully appreciate the journey in whatever form it comes. You follow?
So moving into the fourth dimension is
Fourth density.
Fourth density.
You're already in the
Yes.
fourth dimension.
So moving-
3 of space, 1 of time.
So
Density and dimension are different. Dimension, in a sense, can have many densities. Dimension is like a country. Densities are like states within the country.
Okay.
You understand the difference? So you're going from third density to fourth density within fourth dimensional reality.
Okay.
Make sense? All right.
Is bilocating and teleporting something that's going to become available
Yes.
in this density
Yes.
or in the next dimension?
And it is available now, but the idea, again, is it will become more relevant in the future.
Okay.
So it's not really about, is it possible? It's about, is it probable? Is it relevant to what's going on in the life right now? And so, again, that's why we say all you actually need to be is open and willing to allow it to occur when it's relevant for it to occur. And if you know that you're open and willing and not defining it negatively, then it will occur if it needs to. And if it doesn't need to. You understand?
Yep.
What is what is. And the sooner you use what is, the sooner what is can become another what is. The longer you refuse to use what is, the longer the same what is sticks around. You understand?
Oh, yeah.
You understand? All right. Does that help you?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
And to you, good day.
What are the ideal procedures for a human birth?
It depends on the human.
Indeed. I've heard lots of different theories from, like, say, cutting the umbilical cord right away is very common in our country.
Generally speaking, the natural way that nature has designed it would be what you might recognize as the optimal way. Very often, the cord will know when it needs to stop pulsating. If you cut it before that, you are actually depriving the body of a high content of oxygen and can actually cause brain damage.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Let the natural pulses, the natural rhythms demonstrate when it is appropriate, because it is already within its own intelligence, shall we say, understanding of what needs to happen for each and every individual. And it already takes into account the themes that that individual being born chose for this life. So even in that sense, knowing that it would be born into a society that would cut the cord quickly is still to some degree representative of a choice of a theme of exploration. Nevertheless, you can also learn to change those things if you prefer to change them, if you believe that the changes are more representative of allowing yourself to be more in harmony with the natural rhythms that are being reflected to you by the body in that moment.
All right. And is there any, like, say, underwater burst compared to...
Again, this can occur and can ease the transition, but again, it will depend upon the individuals and what they are attracted to. In water, of course, you will have access to slightly different vibrations than you do in the air, by definition. And sometimes the idea of water births can very strongly connect an individual being born in water to the Sirius vibration.
Okay.
And also to the cetaceans.
All right. Very different. Are you familiar with the Voynich manuscript?
To some degree.
Do you know how it got on this earth, what language it's in, what plants it's talking about, and what the pictures are referring to?
We are not allowed to discuss that. It's not our job. There will be others who have that information. That information is simply not available through this terminal at this time.
Okay. And what causes gravity, and is there a physical particle like a graviton that we can discover?
You can discover it, but it only exists euphemistically like any particle. You understand that the idea of a particle, even your own scientists understand that the idea of a particle, in a sense, is a convenience, yes?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Nevertheless, if you wish to talk about the idea from a particle point of view, we give you what we have called the prime radiant. Have you heard this description?
Yes, I have.
Then you'll understand that if you know what the prime radiant is and how it functions as a single particle traveling at infinite speed, thus appearing next to itself over and over and over again, appearing to be many particles, then you will understand the idea of particles, and you will understand the idea of gravity as the relationship between all those particles, or that particle taking the path, the geometric path that makes it appear to be more than one particle when it isn't. So gravity is the geometric relationship of that particle to itself in certain contexts of overlap. Where it crosses itself many, many times, matter becomes denser and denser and denser and denser. And as it